In the last 12 weeks, I went from 87 kgs to 79 kgs without following an extreme diet or restricting myself or even training a lot. And today I'm going to show you exactly my process, the approach that I've taken, and why this time around it was different than I've done in the past and how you can do the same thing. So let's get right into it and start with the workout part. So I've been doing something different than normal to kind of test this out because I know a lot of people are struggling with time, and that's one of the biggest reasons a lot of people don't get in shape. They feel like they don't have the time for it and they don't want to train 5 to maybe 6 days a week. And so over the years I've always been like enthusiastic about a full body routine, and this is something we also do for a lot of our coaching clients, but I've never really done it properly myself. And I have been doing it a lot while traveling and on vacation, but that's only for shorter periods of time, and I've never committed myself for a long period of time to full body. I decided to go for it. I really like this routine, and the results were pretty freaking interesting. Now, doing this every other day, I would have a full body A day and a full body B day, and I would rotate between these days. So on week number 1 I would have 4 workouts, week number 2 3 workouts, and so this will be every other day. Now for you may want to do it 3 days a week, so you have a stable routine, so the days are the same every single week, and then you take the weekend off. And next to this, I was doing only 6 to 8 sets per body part per week, which is fairly low, and I've done this in the past in my cutting phases as well and noticed that that was extremely effective, so I wanted to give that a try on this routine as well. And I feel like I've been able to maintain my strength better than I would normally if I would train 5 days a week. So in week 1 of this cutting phase, I did 8 sets per body part per week for most, and then I dropped that down slowly over the weeks to 6 sets per body part per week. And the combination of this with the full body every other day, it just gave me a lot of recovery time. It just kind of makes sense as well. And when you're in a caloric deficit and you get lower and lower in body fat, your recovery starts to be hindered as well. So why would you train way more and like go higher in terms of volume? It's not a very smart thing to do. And so the same thing goes for the training frequency, the amount of workouts. It's just really good to have this recovery time because you actually feel strong every time you get into the gym. While normally you would have more systemic fatigue from the workouts, it just is gonna take a toll on your central nervous system as well, just doing a lot of workouts per week. So combining that also with running, I feel like this has been a very ideal approach. And so I would say training less, you can still maximize results as long as you're training hard. So I did almost all my sets 1 rep away from failure. I'm a big fan. I'll put the entire workout plan on the screen, and if you speak Dutch, you can also download it for free, including instructions in the description box down below. There are also drawbacks about this routine. The main one being if you were to focus on gaining muscle, which right now is not the goal, then I feel like it's hard to like add in a lot of isolation stuff, especially if you have lagging body parts you want to bring up. But the very biggest one for me is that I simply love training so much, and like I haven't been in the gym that much, you know, only 3 or 4 days a week, and so I've started to miss the gym a bit. But it's also kind of good because it motivated me every single time when I went to the gym to enjoy it even more, to go harder. But yeah, I love training. Now diet-wise, I've been following intermittent fasting throughout these whole 12 weeks. So I would fast for 16 hours a day, have all my food in an 8-hour time window. That means my first meal at 12 in the morning, and then the last meal at 8 in the evening, sometimes a bit later because of the Spanish lifestyle. So basically it means postponing your first meal for as long as you can. And for me that is, 16 hours a day. Drinking loads of water once you wake up when doing intermittent fasting, and I also reintroduce some caffeine, all right? Because I quit a couple months ago, but when you're losing fat in a caloric deficit, caffeine is just a really great tool to suppress hunger and to give you extra energy and focus, specifically if you combine it with intermittent fasting. And I would also train fasted, not because training fasted is some sort of magical tool for fat loss or doing fasted cardio. That is a myth. However, it just fits my schedule better. Now my diet has been a bit different this time than in previous years, because what I would normally do is weigh all my food and then track my macros and do this very strictly. So weigh everything out by the grams, and then I would make sure I hit those targets every day. And some days I would eat 5 meals, the other day I would eat 3 meals, and it would just be different every day depending on what I kind of felt like having. This time around I decided to stick more to a meal plan. So this was mainly just to give myself more simplicity, and I didn't want to be bothered with like tracking my macros because I haven't done that recently. Normally to get in the photo shoot shape, it is the most effective way to track macros. In a sense, I would still know my macros, so I'll share that with you guys in a bit. Because if you follow a meal plan, you actually do still follow macros. You just don't have to weigh everything out. If you stick to the same foods, you're also gonna stick to the same calories and macros automatically. So meal number one, I would have oats every single day, and the only thing that would change is the amount of oats that I would use. Protein powder would be the same. So that would be at 12, my first meal. Then my second meal would be around 4, sometimes a little bit earlier, sometimes later, depending on the day. And here I would have, for most of the days, pasta chicken pesto. That was just one of the meals that's been easy to prep. They have the same ingredients here in Spain, so it just kind of like was easy for me. And then at some stage I switched the chicken up for shrimps because they are higher in volume, right? So it just fitted better as I started to get more hungry. And I also started rotating between pasta and potatoes because potatoes are also higher in volume, so you can eat more of it. But since I was doing intermittent fasting, it made it still possible for me to eat pasta while losing weight because I just saved so many calories. And the biggest calories that I saved were saved for in the evenings. So I would now have still way over 1,000 calories left and could have a massive dinner. And this dinner would be different every single day. And that's what made this diet still a lot of fun. So like I didn't have to think about my first meal and my second meal, like my breakfast and my lunch, if you will, and I just had to think about the dinner. So, you know, we have this new barbecue. We did a lot of the barbecue, put a steak on there with either potatoes or even fries. The air fryer has been a big friend of us. So using the air fryer, the grill, right, the barbecue, and then also the new Ninja Creamy that we got to make ice cream after that dinner, it's just been effortless to like stick to this diet, right? I didn't have to think about the first two meals, and then dinner would just always be a feast and it would be enjoyable. And then I knew like after the dinner, I would still have either a Ninja Creamy ice cream or I would have low-fat Greek yogurt. So I kind of switched between those because you don't want to eat ice cream. Well, yeah, you could eat ice cream every day, but I didn't want to overdo it on the protein powder because I also had protein powder with my first meal, right? Plus Greek yogurt also has the benefits that it's really good for your gut. So it just made sense to switch between those as well, and also to keep it interesting and fun. And this approach also made it possible for us to still eat out because we are still new in this area. And so we want to enjoy the Spanish kitchen, tapas, and all kinds of foods, different foods. And in a restaurant, I would usually still obviously go for the healthy options. That's just kind of in my nature. And the ones that are high protein, so that are highly filling. Order a salad on the side always with the salsa part. And those small things that save some calories, and then you have done your best. That's kind of the way I see it. Like just do your best and don't stress too much over it. That's the approach that I like. Next to that, alcohol. I have not really been drinking at all during this cutting phase. And that is not necessarily something I did on purpose. I just haven't been drinking lately like I used to. My girlfriend quit drinking probably about 3 years ago because she has chronic migraines. And so once she stopped drinking, automatically I just slowly stopped drinking. When she does an order, I just automatically started drinking Coke Zero at a restaurant instead of a glass of wine. And then here and there we would go eat out with friends, you know, that would have a drink, and then I would have a glass of wine. Maximum 1 or 2 drinks a night, nothing more. And I've been really feeling it. I was just very stable every day in terms of my energy, which I think also has to do with the drinking part for sure. So would definitely recommend. Now in terms of supplements, these are the ones I would take with my first meal, and L-theanine I would take with my coffee in the morning. Impact Hydrate after my running workouts, and this is what I would take before sleeping. Code Marine for 10 to 20% off at My Protein. Now as far as my macros, I started at 2,780 calories, divided into these macros, and then at the end of the 12 weeks, I was at 2,490 calories. And what you can mainly tell is that the fats are relatively high at the end of my cutting phase still, which normally would go a lot lower. So in the past, I've done diets where I would go as low as 30 grams of fat a day. However, my testosterone would also tank. I would also be lower in body fat, so it's hard to say if it was only the fat intake, but fat intake has shown a great correlation with your testosterone levels. So this time around, I wanted to keep those higher. And honestly, I felt really, really good throughout this shredding phase. And it also helped me with, you know, still going out to these dinners, enjoying nice foods, having a big fatty steak rather than, you know, this gut that has no fat on it. So it was also just a kind of like a diet preference for me. So after a few weeks into this cutting phase, I started with going from 3 runs a week to 2 runs a week. 1 long run of 50 to 70 minutes, and then 1 interval run where, you know, I would run really fast for 500 meters, take 1 minute rest, repeat, and then do a warm up of 2 to 3 kilometers and then cooling down after the 3 kilometers. And so I kind of stuck to that. I didn't make any crazy progress in terms of the length of my runs. So 2 runs a week. Next to that, I added in 1 low intensity cardio session, which was 20 minutes incline walking on a 12% incline, 5.5 kilometers an hour. And over the weeks, I boosted that up towards 3 low intensity cardio sessions and so 2 runs a week. And that was the end of what I was doing.
After 11 weeks, this is the progress from a couple different angles. So you can really tell how much fat I've lost. I did look really big when I started this shred. So obviously it is a different sort of physique. And I got a tan, which also does play a role. And this was not even the final form because I did a photo shoot the week later. So I'm gonna reveal that to you now.
So it's the morning of the shoot. We got up early. The sunrise was at 7:15. We are a little bit late. We usually run late. That's just how we do, especially when you're in Spain. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We came to start up a riot. We came to start up a riot. We came to start up a riot. It's how that we can defy it. Only the strongest surviving. Ah! Energy high, changing the shift in the climate. Pulling up on them, we're not giving it up. Coming alive, we came to turn.
So, how's it going?
Going great, guys. Having candy at 8 in the morning, not something I expected myself doing. Goes against everything you see. I just realized this morning, like I've done this many times, but we normally do it indoors. I expected it to be difficult with the lighting and everything. It gives a really cool effect on the beach. This marks, choking.
Oh God.
They're like, if you eat these too fast, you're like, that was I saying.
The lighting.
Saying the lighting.
It was hard with the
See,
lighting, but
once you go 100% of their body fat, the brain just doesn't work the same way. I had something good to say, man. What
you thought it would be good with the lighting, light the gains, or
It's coming back. So what I was gonna say is that this marks a new chapter in life. You know, the Marbella, the Spain life, and that's why we had to do this on the beach. It feels like a new chapter. Does it feel the same way to you?
yes, I love it. This is so much better than shooting in half rain or like gray skies is good for photography, but for this kind of photography, this is the
Yeah,
perfect
I just
lighting.
saw some of the shots and really proud of the physique, honestly.
You look amazing. Yeah.
Thank you. The final form. I think it's good. If I went any lower, it was bad. You guys can tell, like right now, I mean, I even can think 100%, and that's something I like. I think we noticed it in the last week. This last
only
week.
the last week.
Only the last week.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show that little extra half percentage of body fat can like just kill you, right? Yeah, it can just change everything.
It changed the
So-
face the most, I think, the last
True.
week. That was
Yeah.
the first time I was like, oh wait, you
Slight
get really
crackhead vibes. Yeah.
little skeleton.
All right, let's get this shoot going. Yeah, it's good.
Came to start up a riot. Energy high, changing the shift in the climate. We came to start up a riot. Pulling up on them, we're not giving it up. It's how that we can defy it.
All right, shoot is complete. That was definitely a successful one. Happy with the photos. And this is always a nice moment. Like I've been, dieting really hard now to capture my best physique. It's a nice moment to capture, right? I didn't do the crazy photo shoot protocol I would normally do, which would be like an entire week. Now I only did like 2 depletion workouts and then 1 carb up day. So normally I would do 2 or even 3 carb up days when I did that men's physique show. This is just really fun because like the last couple of days you really see the visual changes when you start doing that protocol, right? I've made a whole separate video on this as well in the past where I share with you guys, so you definitely want to check that out if you ever feel like capturing these photos for yourself. But next to that, I also run a fitness business in Dutch, Daily Wins, and so we're currently working on actually redoing everything, because it's really important if you have a business. Times change, but also maybe the customers change or the things that they want. And what we've been realizing is like the more data you have as well. We've coached over 10,000 people. The more you know what works and what doesn't work. And the last like 2 years, I haven't been truly satisfied, which I've realized like later on with like, customer feedback and everything about we had training plans, but they were not personal. So there was like a low ticket offer, only like, 10 euros a month. And then we had coaching, which was like a higher ticket offer, but there was nothing in between anymore, which we used to have back in the day. And Like we used to have personal nutrition plans, training plans. We didn't have that anymore right now. And so we're bringing that back, including the coaching again with support from me and my team. So that's all gonna be in Dutch. It's gonna be launching pretty soon when you're watching this video. So if you speak Dutch, check out all the details in the description box down below. But it's basically everything you need from me in order to help you get in the best shape of your life. I've been doing this for 15 years, and not only in the best shape physically, but also mentally, because there's gonna be mental health videos in there as well. I'm gonna be coaching, be in a community as well. So I'm gonna give you all the tools you need to succeed. All right. What do you think about the shoot?
Oh, the shoot was amazing. I just love shooting at the beach. It's just the colors and I don't know, I love it. And also, of course, the shape and the photos that we took of you. We've been doing this for years, and we are really well, how do I say this? We are really
Goed ingesteld op elkaar.
yes, exactly. Let's subtitle that later.
Nailed it.
Yay.
So what do we do after a shoot? Go for a big meal. Now yesterday we actually had Dutch pancakes for the carb load. Today we're having pancakes again, but Japanese ones. Never had these in my life, but oh my god. See how good that looks. So I got the craziest one, the special of the day, which was raspberry and mascarpone. How do you say that in English? Mascarpone?
Mascarpone.
Mascarpone. Mascarpone. In Dutch it's mascarpone. So we got some strawberries on there and everything. We have a cappuccino on the side. It's gonna be good. Let's. I had no idea Japanese pancakes were a thing. I just thought the name of this place was GP Pancakes. They're so fluffy. Dutch ones are super more like thin and large. Oh wow. Mmm. Real fluffy. Okay, check this out. Oh my god, no, don't destroy it.
Wow, it's like a cake.
It's like a cake, yeah. Okay, like 2 bites and I feel like I'm already gonna crash. I'm gonna crash hard after this. But I rate these like a 9 out of 10 for sure. Better than the Dutch pancakes yesterday actually. Maybe because it's more special. What are you having? You're going pretty healthy.
Yes, granola bowl. It's breakfast, so
That's good. Yeah, it actually
I want to
is.
go a little lighter.
This is the ultimate accomplished feeling, so proud of what we did here today. Make sure to check out this video if you want to see that photo shoot protocol, and then I'll catch you very soon. Peace out, much love.